Welcome back. Had to make a phone call. And then it had cut out. So I was like, well, okay, I'll just finish what I'm doing. I'm excited. I'll be ready to stain these tomorrow and work on stems. Going to be good. I got no complaints today. It's going so good. I'm very fortunate it's going so good. We're just prettying up some pipes, getting them ready for their journey to a new home. Now that home has not been determined yet, so the poker pipe and this beautiful little billiard with, oh, my camera, where's my camera? Why is it there? Let me try this again. There it goes. That was weird. So this nice little billiard with plateau, flame grain, straight grain, and bird's eye. Is also available. It's going to be good. It's got amazing grain. One of the absolute best blocks I've ever used. And this has been a very good block to me too. Has different grains, but does have a little bit of flame and a little bit of straight grain. Tiny bit of bird's eye, but it's been a good block too. I'm going to light this up again. That's all right. See if we can finish this cigar. Welcome in, everybody. Whoops, I'll fix it. Hope you're doing well. Feel free to let me know what you're smoking it in. party in here now. I hope you're having a good one. I just getting this poker pipe finished up so it's ready for the next step. It's almost there. Hope you guys are doing well. You see me getting to sand, so if anybody needs anything to do, you're welcome to sand along with me. Good day for shop work. Turned out really good. Really comfortable. Feels amazing. So this one's pretty ready to stain. Just a little bit more on the bottom. Elbow grease is the way to go. I'm telling you. Make sure everything's still golden. Absolutely. It's sanding day again. Still. How you doing? Hope it's going good for you. We're finishing up my display today if possible. And then I can put up some of these finished pipes when they're done tomorrow or the next day. They should be finished. Never know what the day will bring. My goal tomorrow is to make stems and to stain some pipes. But you never know. Plans don't always go to plan. Welcome in. Feel free to let me know what you're smoking. Trying to finish this Prensado cigar in my all-wood pipe from All-Wood Piper. Only reason I say trying is the cigar does not want to finish. You made it back. Doing real good, man. How you doing? You made it back. That's good. Going real good. Just 2 or 3 little spots, and then I'll be ready to. It'll be ready for tomorrow. But it's a beauty. Feels good. Just have to get this all a little bit tidied up. But not much. Really not much. Gonna give a bit of an edge to the bottom. I'm anxious to start on the stems, man. They're pretty. So I do want to get to that. Don't know what color I'll do with this one, with the poker. Might do 2 colors. Might do like the body of it black and the rim brown, or the body of it brown and the rim black. Or leave the rim and the bottom natural. But it's getting there. Much closer now. Had to switch sandpaper. My other one was getting worn out and I wasn't recognizing it. But it's all just baby steps sanding. No, I just like to finish it today. Because we have people coming to visit any day, depending on the weather. So if I can get this done today, then even if they visit tomorrow, I can sit without the vacuum and do the step work. And enjoy a visit. And they can also stain, so there'll still be work being done. Even if I run out of time to do any work tomorrow, I can still have it where there's progress being made. But I'd like to get it done because if I can get these done, I'm trying to get enough of them close so where I can do the stem work tomorrow, because I have more to work on. And I'm really excited about the stems as number 1, honestly. And I really want to get back to the elephant foot and finish that up. If I could do that today, I'll be right where I want to be. And then that way, with tomorrow being a little bit busier, possibly, whatever day isn't as busy, while these are staining and doing whatever, I can focus on just the commissions. And I don't know, get them where they need to go. I'm just kind of on standby. And I hate that feeling because you got to be ready. You know, it's life. You got to be ready for anything. But not knowing when is tiring sometimes. And we've been having people visit all year. And next week I'm going to be busy. So just trying to get a bunch done. Got some blends to put together, some packages to finish up, a bunch of stuff to try to mail next week. And next week I'm going to be busy. With celebrating people's birthdays and anniversaries. So it's sort of not going my way, but I'm trying to fix it. I already know tomorrow's probably going to be taken up pretty good. And then, because it sounds like they were either going to be here today or more likely tomorrow. So probably tomorrow, most likely not Saturday. So tomorrow I'll be busy. I'll have a little bit of time on the weekend is going to be the most pipe time I have next aside from today. And then the beginning of next week is all taken up. And so just a bunch to do next week. So I'm just trying ahead. I'm really behind. But I've got commissions in the works. I've got special pipes in the works. Like this one I'm still working on. This is going to be, the theme is Dublin in the rough. It's going to be like a Dublin coming out of the block. And it's all, and I'll bring it in. To be kind of an unfinished Dublin, but poking out of the briar. And then I'm doing a surprise shape that I'm doing 3 of. And one of them's almost to where I want it, so I can do the other 2. And trying to get just more pipes done. These are for my mom. She's going to be having knee replacements. Most likely a hip replacement. So she's selling these. These are just, I just have something I can do. Gives me a hobby. And if I have to stop or can't do it because of seizures, I can stop. Not a big deal. Thank you. I'm excited for that one. And these ones are just these are to be made available. The Dublin and the Rough will be available. And then just jumping on commission some more. So, you know, just trying to. Yeah, I'm excited for that. And thank you. I'll just do the best I can. That's it, you know. I'm excited for this one. It's taken a lot of work. I got probably a good half inch around to reduce in size. So it's still chunky. And I got my lines, and those are just guidelines. Oftentimes you'll see I leave plenty. So if I have to take off more, or if I decide I want to take off more to make it look nicer, I have the option. Don't know if I'll leave a flare up here. I might smooth this down and bring it at an angle really smooth. But yeah, it's turning out good. And then I'm doing a second stem for a guy, and the elephant foot that stands is mostly done. Well, halfway done. Oh, you can't see it. But anyway, it stands like that. With the stem, it will stand. And I figure if I'm going to get this billiard on its way, I better finish up so I can get to the stem. Cascadian, how are you doing, brother? Great to see you. Oh, man, Christmas was really good. We got to be here Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, the whole of the weekend. First time years. So it was really good. I'm making really good progress today. Gonna have a couple of pipes available next week, early. I just have the Sanders nightmare going on, where I've just got two spots. I just have to keep sanding. Two little ones in the way of this being I want it. But it is going good. I've had really good luck with this pipe. No complaints. Just work. You're doing well also. You survived sub-freezing. Oh man. Nice. Yeah, it's been a cold few weeks here. And thank you, Hillbilly. I appreciate that, bud. Yeah, she's going to be doing that within a few months, so I'm trying to just do the best I can to give her a nice surprise and help her out, because that's what this whole thing is about, is just doing something I enjoy that I'm able to do most days that can benefit her. That's all there is to it. But it's going well. Poker pipe's going good. It'll be ready to stain tomorrow. And then just some little sand marks on the bottom that feel smooth. They just aesthetically, they'll look good. And they're actually over us. I might leave a few just because as they darken, it will kind of liven up an area that doesn't have much going on. So I wouldn't have to do a separate rustication. I've done that where it looks rustic, and sometimes some sand marks kind of look cool if placed right and they're intentional. And then this mouthpiece, this shank will stay contoured, and I'll make stem. That's actually pretty good. I think I got the troublesome parts out of it. Yeah. Then I'll do the baby staining. It depends on the pipe. Generally, it really depends. A really nice feel is if you do 220. That's just a nice feeling pipe all around. If you wet sand it, which I just put water on the pipe and then sand it the same as usual, it will raise the 220 to about 320 to 340. And then I sand it a little more like you've seen, and then I'll usually stain, because if you sand too high a grit and then stain, the stain won't stay as most of the time. I have sanded fat and done stain if I'm going for a certain look, but most of the time it's 220 wet sanded and then stain, and then carnauba wax and light polish. But yeah, most of the time 220 is a good one. And it's enough to take stuff off without overdoing it. So I like to do, it's like a happy medium. Now, if I'm leaving them natural, then it just depends on the day. A lot of times it's 400 and wet sanded and then polished, which puts it at around 600 to 700. Sometimes if you polish long enough, if you do like 400 then wet sand it, it's like it bumps it to 600. Then you do, so it depends if you wet sand also, but that also brings out the grain. If you have really pretty straight grain, that'll bring that out. And then when you buff it, it'll bring it closer to 800. And when you can actually get negative returns. So if you actually sand or if you're buffing a stem, it's tricky, because if you use a component or a composite on the buffer, you can only stick to a certain point or buff it to a certain point until you start getting little scuffs you can't get rid of. If I'm doing a pipe that's just going to have carnauba wax, a lot of times I will sand it to 320, usually without wet sanding. Then I'll put wax. Then I'll give it just a light buff of the wax. I got a heck of a pipe here Brian. Flame grain all around, plateau. Working on the bottom, there is a saw mark that I got rid of mostly. It's just dark, but it's been interfering. And see, like in this case, I've wet sanded at 220. Then I want to stain it. Then I might sand it. And leave stains in a certain spot. I might do a contrast stain, which this particular pipe would be amazing with contrast. This has little bird's eye all along the front corner. Has flame grain going out, straight grain. I mean, even has flame grain and straight grain on the shank and on the end of the shank too. I don't know how well you can see it. I don't want to wet it again because I've already wet sanded it. Yeah, just a short billiard, and then I'll do a custom stem, whatever will work the best on it. Sometimes I'll take like 320 and really go gently to get just weird little marks that don't want to come out. So I don't sand down too much more than I intend. Oh, it's going to look amazing, but feels really nice. I'm actually going to do that. I'm going to switch. To 320. To straighten up the bottom a little bit. And I've gotten, let's see. Yeah. It should look great. It feels good. It looks good already. Very promising. All the hard stuff is done. And you're exactly right, Hillbilly. There's a lot more work in it. And people can use lathes. But, when you get down to this point, you don't really want to use, in my opinion, use much more than, you got to do the work. And I can't use the lathe. You just do what you can. This cigar, one of my favorites. It does not want to ever stay lit. I have lit it 18, 19 times. I'm done with it. It'll get broken up and blended with. Let's smoke a different one. This one's unwrapped. So it should be smoked first. This is from Hillbilly Piper. I got stuff somewhere. And it is a Tabernacle, which I've had before. They're awesome. But I want a cigar. Excellent. Well, a lot of times I'll use, oh man, that's like the best light I've gotten on one of these. Even. I'll use 400 grit. If I'm going to leave it, I might do like 300 and buff it, and then I might do 400 or higher. I have all the way up to 2,500. And then buff the rim, or, really make the rim super smooth and gorgeous. And this is a lot more work than people think, but it's also a lot more rewarding. Than people might think. But I drool. That's my drool. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I guess it's a bit of a kind of a barrel shape. It was from a block that wasn't do much good for anything else. It was bowed. The block was like this. Well, bent like that. Got short. I thought I'm gonna make a small pipe, and then I'm like, dang, it's actually gonna be a little bit more substantial than I thought. So there's my bull call groundhog. What are you smoking? What are you smoking it in? What are you drinking? And you're exactly right, Hillbilly. You figured out a way to do something more efficiently. If you're taking shortcuts, it will show somewhere in the result. If you take a shortcut when you're drilling the chamber, it will show. If the draft hole or the mortise are done poorly, it will show. If you're trying to do a smooth transition from stem to shank and you have trouble doing it, it'll show. Doesn't mean it's a bad pipe or a bad smoker. But the difficulties that you had, or the inexperience, or the bad blow up. So you just try to reduce them. Try to just make it look the best you can. So I'm going to go over most of this with 320. It's getting just some little sand marks out. I think that the 220 got it smooth enough, but it wasn't taking out some of the lines, and I don't want to remove a ton. I'm just doing the blending. So this side was okay. So what I found out, and sometimes you get this when you're sanding, is you feel like you're making more sand lines, and you might be finding some inclusions and opening them, thinking you're So some of this I could have left, and I think they were just tiny inclusions, and in fact, I'm sure they are. So I sanded a little more than intended on the one side. So I'm going to match them and be done with it. But hard to tell. Feels good. I'll straighten it up. Oh, very good. It is good to have food with that. It's a bit of a stronger one. Excuse me one moment. I'm going to splash some water on my face because I think I got a little bit of dust, probably a little bit of smoke in my eyes, and then they get burny. And then I can't do anything, can't function. I got a clean rag somewhere here. Be right back. There we go. Got a clean face rag from the pickup there. Now we're good. Yeah, the smoke is loading into my eyes. I do have the heater on. It's probably blowing it into my face. Oh, definitely. And I usually have the vacuum on. This stuff doesn't bother me because I don't breathe it. Now, if I'm using the Dremel or the spindle sander, then I definitely have this on. Stem work or hand sanding, I don't always have it on. That's better. They're looking sharp now. My goodness. Now we're doing it justice. Well, actually, the weather did clear up and it's snowing again. So, no. It did twice and it just got terrible. See, like right here, this was not here yesterday. So there was a slight inclusion discovered by sanding. It will make no difference, but sometimes you're sanding and it opens something up. Much better. Much better. There you have it. And then this was a terribly big mark. I made it flatter and brought it in a good 8. And I'm going to leave it because it's just aesthetic, not deep, won't affect it. Now, and you're right, that is the beauty. I think natural materials get underappreciated. You know, we're all flawed. Natural materials have that too, so it's kind of a cool common trait. One last look over. There. Thank you. Now I'm going to make a very slight indentation here. Not much. A short bowl, you don't even really need it. It's just going to be for looks. I may round this edge a little bit. And I might just keep using 320. Thank you. I feel like if I do the rounded edges, it will kind of blend it in and more include the plateau, which will kind of make the plateau out more because it's like it's part of it, but then different still. This smoke lights my eyes today, which is a bummer. What would the what be if not for the look? I don't recognize the word, and that may be on me, or it could be a typo. I'm just double checking. Oh, never mind. I know. Sorry. So, in taller pipes, it can actually affect the draft. So, you do want this on a tall pipe, especially if you decide to. So, if it's a short pipe, it's good to have open draw and then bring down the drilling narrower before chamber, because then you give it a narrow restriction as they're smoking. But you want enough airflow. So on a tall pipe like this, it's like 2 inches deep, you do want this because it will actually improve the draft that they get. So this will allow more airflow, and then the actual drilling that's been done to this will make it, it'll result in a nice smooth draw, but you don't feel like you're trying to draw through a toothpick. Oh no, I just forgot the word. So usually on anything over 1.25 inches, you would want a little bit of that. This is 1.25 inches. I'm doing it mostly for looks, so I won't give it a deep angle. I'll just do it just for looks. But I mean, this has a nice draw, so the longer stem is going to be beneficial. And yeah, that's why. So this will be like it'll be shallow. Oh, no worries. It looked like the right word. And I tell people all the time, if you have a question, don't worry about asking. You know, there's some things I won't tell people that I do. But it is nice to have an answer, so you, because I wouldn't have known. If somebody didn't tell me, I wouldn't have known. I thought it was just looks too. Now the reason I'm sticking with 320 is so I don't go over it twice, because it's not much I'm gonna do. It's just gonna and when you're doing a fine edge and you use a coarser grit, it leaves streaks. It might mess up the edge, and you go, man, now I gotta sand a bunch more to try to fix it. Man, this cigar really likes my eyes. Tell ya. I'm gonna be called Squincy. Ugh. It's a great cigar, though. It's not its fault. It's all right. I wing a lot of things. I've gotten so good at it that when autocorrect shows up, I'm really good at noticing it right away that it's like, I wouldn't even spell it that wrong. That's not what I was trying to say. One day I sent a message to my wife, and I was being sweet, so I said, "How's it going, baby cakes?" And AutoRec turned it into, "How's it going, baby baker?" So she sounded like a criminal. So she's like, "Baby baker? What are you talking about?" If I was someone that drank, she'd be like, "You drunk again? The hell's wrong with you?" Yeah. Oh, when you're finishing knives, that's right. I couldn't remember who it was I was talking to that made knives. I believe it was you. That's why I tend to just go for, now, unless I'm using the spindle sander, some of those are 120, which is nice to shape stuff with. 80 is good when you've got a whole bunch to move, but usually at that point, you may as well saw some off. 120 is good. 150 is good. But then 220, when you're really just things out nicely without worrying about going too far. And then you can wet sand, and it puts it right about, probably about 310, because then when I got this 320, it's doing what I want without taking too much or too. It finished it up without leaving marks or having to sand over the whole thing. So it was close to 320 with the wet sanding of the 220. And it takes a little longer with 320, but it doesn't take too much. If you're doing shallow tapers or whatever the right word is, then it doesn't take long. And it doesn't take too much, so you don't make a weird dip off to one side and go, whoops. So it's a good in between. Yeah, so that's little. I can do more actually. And this wouldn't be bad. I am going to go over the top though with 320 quite a bit. It does have a natural groove that's barely, you can't even feel it. You just see it. It was probably an inclusion or part of the saw marks. But I might go to 400 with it on the rim. Make the rim look really shiny and beautiful and super smooth. So it's not going too bad. Nice little taper. My initial mark was from Forstner bit, and you can see the line. But again, I'll fix that as we go. And when you're getting to 320s and 400 and up, that's usually finishing stuff. I muted so you wouldn't go deaf. Let's see. Yeah. You're liking Bookshop. Is that what you said? Or it's a little bitey? Definitely give it some age if it's too bitey. It depends. I've nearly completed, the most I've done in a day is nearly completed 2 pipes. We're to the point where they were ready for the final sanding and stem. I did totally complete a pipe in one day, stem and all, and put stain on it. Sometimes they take longer. Depends on the quality of the pipe, the shape, the size, the amount you have to do to it. But yeah, but I work on several at a time because it seems to work best if I'm doing a batch and I get them all to where they're ready for stain or the final little touches. And then, for example, usually my batches are anywhere from 8 to 15. And I'll do the shaping of all of them. I'll do the drilling of half of them. I'll usually get them to about 6 to 8. And I'll get them, especially commissions, and I'll get them sanded to where they're ready for the final step. And then what commission is due first gets priority, and I'll finish it up and focus on it. And then I try to do the stems, as many stems as I can in one period of time, so that I'm gone from the pipe work and into the stem work, and pick out the stems and go, okay, now it's time to focus one stem at a time. Sometimes I can do a few in a day. I'm just debating over the color to do with this. So this is not smoothed out yet, but it's got transparency on it. So I might do something like this, but I would bring it down to here, and then it would go something like that. So I'll have to do, I'll saw it here, leave just under, it's 2 inches and 7/8. And then this end will become the bit. I'll put it into a like saddle bit. And probably do blue because this is a nice blue. You can see it light up a bit when it's smooth. I've got some that are smooth or sanded, then you get things showing up more like this. And those marks will be sanded out. And we've got some nice velvety reds. The last blue was this one. And that was all just done right here with sanding. And that's part of a commission. And then I have this one. That stem's part of this is a commission. And then I do currently have a finished Oompal with plateau. It's all done. Lots of bird's eye. Really smooth. Going to be a good smoker, guaranteed. So that one's available. This was the one with the little blue stem. brown is smooth. The black is finely rusticated. And it fits awesome. And that is a commission. But the other, the Oompal is available. This billiard, the poker, the elephant's foot, the Dublin I'll make one of these days. Available. Oh, the Dublin in the rough. I also have this one. I need to finish up. I'm waiting to hear back from the guy if he wants it, but this one will probably be made available as well and is excellent. I'm just going to do a little more sanding on the shank. Nice plateau. Yeah. So it depends. I had a group of 23 pipes I'm working on. I do have some up here. I'm working on this one with the band. This was going to be paneled at the time. The person that commissioned it wanted it paneled, and then they had something come up. They couldn't follow through the commission, and that happens. So I'm actually going to round the corners. I'm going to round the pipe, put a brass cap on the shank, make a stem for it. So this has gone from almost finished to now I need to finish it up. I've got a volcano that'll be available. It just needs a stem. And a little more sanding, but it's almost done. So it's a party. Thank you. Yeah, I really like that one. As I started working on it, I put a lot of effort and time into the rustication, but it was great. It was a lot of fun. It was learning. It was really being careful not to screw up, using different ends. It turned out marvelous. And it looks good on camera, but they never compare to how they look in person. Yeah, so it's good. Got a bunch being worked on, and just depends on the day which ones I'm doing, and that's just the nature of it. The commissions, of course, take precedence, and I've got them where I've got 2 more that need to be finished soon, and it'll probably be within the next 2 weeks. Hopefully by next Thursday I can mail out these commissions that are done, and part of it was waiting on money to mail, and then part of it was weather, and then part of it was post office catching up with everything because of the weather. So right now I'm doing pretty good. I'm right on track. I'm a little bit ahead. So in the meantime, this one's called Digging for Gold. This is one of my favorites. It has silver and gold and brown, and it doesn't do it justice, but I'll show you at the end of it. It's got different colors, and you can kind of see the colors, but when it's smoothed out, it's going to be spectacular. That one may end up on here. And I'll contour it, bring it all down, give it a tenon, have it in place, make it shorter, bent, and a slight bit narrowed out, but close. Yeah, the one I didn't know if I should rusticate or do smooth, and I was like, I should do smooth wherever the grain looks really good. So I did that, and I thought maybe I should do two different colors. So that was the hardest, actually being really careful thing and going over everything for colors not to mess anything up. But it turned out good. Yeah, I try it. Sometimes you can get away with it. Sometimes it just needs sanded down. But yeah, I did forget about that. That will sometimes show it. And part of it is because it actually is working pretty good despite not finished sanding it. But there's some gold and silver. It will be much shinier, and you'll be able to see everything a lot more as the light can get into it more. But see how well it works. I do forget they get dust sometimes. I keep them, except that I was admiring it for a couple days and it got dust. Yeah, see, I'm glad you mentioned it. So you can see where it gets lighter. And then one of my all-time favorites. Oh, here, heck. These ones are not sanded, but this would be a little more accurate. One of my favorites is black copper. And that's on that big volcano. I did make a video too. There's one that shows all the new ones I have in. Pretty up close. Let's see. Earth's core is a really nice one. And you get variety. I mean, another one I have. This is one earth that's turned into a rod. And we've got cantaloupe. Green and turquoise, orange. The darker blue. I had one, and I think I used it on a pipe, actually. But I'm always taking commissions. I've got a blowfish one I'll start soon. A pickaxe that'll be available. And I've got the block for it. hidden somewhere. Oh, there's my, and I have cracked pepper. That's a great blend. Yeah, all kinds of colors. Yellows, purples, and some purples look incredible for purple. Like this one's going to be hard to see. Let's see until it's done. Here's one. So this is Purple Moon. It's dark purple with some of those highlights. It's going to be hard to see because it needs to be worked on. Blue, green. This wasabi green makes just gorgeous stems. I've got this is called scrambled eggs. But when they light up, when they're smoothed out, this is the cantaloupe. I've got them mostly on Instagram. One thing I was doing that I didn't realize was I was taking pipes in the process and then not taking final pictures because I'd finish the pipe and it'd get all done. And when it was dried and finished, I'm like, time to package it and get it out. And I'd send pictures to the people I made them for. And I forgot to, well, I can show you some on here even, but I forgot to post them. Let's see, I got some. I think I have some. What's this one? Okay, so here's tomato author. This is one, I've made a good amount of volcanoes. There's a volcano church warden. This is a church warden I did, a type of rustication I'd never tried. It's a church warden bulldog. There's a few I did. Those were some earlier ones. Those are all commissioned and all gone. And here's one I have in the works that's going to be a Sherlock Holmes. It's got a good amount of rim on it, but I have it set up so I can sand it all down and have the angle I want. So that one is in progress. And then here's a better picture of the Oompal. And I can't see what this picture is going to be. Ah, that's Bob with a fish. but I'm on these will be when I'm done with everything I've got set up. I'll have done 59 pipes, and most are commissions. And then I do have a Rhodesian. I'm going to start when I have more time opened up. This one I was starting a different shape, and I'm not sure how I wanted to do with it. There was what's it called? Plateau that cleared out to be a dip, but it won't affect anything. But this will be something. I'll make the grooves more prominent, piece it together when the time comes. That's just a side project that's been one for a while. So they're getting there. Now this had a very light wax finish on it because I was curious of the color. Gave it a very, very light polishing. It still needs to be finished in, but anyway, there you have it. I do have some olive wood pipes started as well. And thank you. Welcome. Again, I appreciate you guys being here. Thank you, Hillbilly. And thank you. Yeah, so I've done. It's been a busy year. Yeah, I'm gonna go supervise my dad and make sure he behaves himself. But thank you guys. It's been nice having your company. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask. And if there's a pipe you're interested in, I'm on Instagram. You can email me. My YouTube about section has my email. But feel free to ask questions. A lot of people I get asking for pipes are guys that come in and say, I want this shape I haven't seen. Can you do it? But I'm very reasonable and I work with everybody. So thank you. And I hope you have a great day. Well, thank you, Hillbilly. I appreciate it, buddy. I've enjoyed myself as well. I'm getting to the point in the day where I'm getting tired. So the nice thing is I did accomplish my goal with these two. And tomorrow will be staining and stems. I'll work on the detail of the stems first, the shape. I'll put some in the lathe, and then I'll finish that up with sanding. And otherwise, I'll use a file and sandpaper, and I'll make stems for them, make sure it's the look I want, and then determine the color and that kind of stuff. So don't worry. When they're finished, I will make sure I post them because I'm remembering to do that. And you know, everything gets better over time. So thank you for being here. Enjoy the rest of your day. I will be live Saturday night, probably about 10 p.m. Eastern. I will not have Pipe Group Tuesday, but I will the following Tuesday. So thank you. And you have a great day, buddy.